Um, this is a new channel. Well, it's a new old channel. Um, I've been a devotee for like 8 years now, I think. But I've always been part of Ifa. I like being a devotee, to be honest. I'm not like, when I look at what the priestesses does and how they have to deal with the community, because the priestesses, what they basically do, they service the community. They are there to give consultations, or priests and priestesses give consultations and to help the community. They help the community not only through spiritual means, they help the community through other means. They give them consultations. The ilays or temples are vast. As you can see, there's a lot of information on Ifa. You go all up and down side, like different places. Ifa is worldwide, is global. There's even Japanese who like, Ifa is so far out there, so globally. Especially where the Lukumi community is concerned. You'll see Chinese, Asians dancing as Shango, Yamaya, Ochosi, Eshu, or Elegua. So, or a sign. So you, that's to tell you how vast. When you go to festivals like the one I went to when I went to the Oshun festival, you'll see people from all sides of the world, right? But sometimes, right, you'll see the most prominent ones, which is from Bahia, Nigeria, sometimes the Americas, Trinidad. So to me, Ifa is a lot more larger than what it is. You don't have to be a certain way, obviously, right? You can live everyday life. It's just that there's taboos that people have to follow, and they have to know that they can't and cannot do whatever. Um, there's one that I follow called King Brujo, and there's Orisha Baby. Um, King Barujo went to Nigeria and he got initiated under Eshu, I think it was. And recently his wife got initiated just not too long ago. So that's to tell you how vast it is. Um, like, people could come from Palo, they can go into Lukumi, they can like they head to Nigeria. Most initiations take place in Nigeria, Benin, all different parts. The goddess herself, Oshun, sometimes she comes in different forms as well, and the representations is different. Oh, why is my phone always rings? But anyway, let it finish. Oh, why is it doing this? Anyways, yeah. So basically, it is a way of life, because like you kind of, it's like a principles of many things. Like 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 I'll say, me, I live by certain principles. I understand that there's certain things that that I cannot cross over. I try to be as straightforward as I can. Mind you, Aoife did literally save my life, really, literally. So I look at it on a whole different level. One of my children is born into Aoife. So, and I see that there's a difference to all the other things that I've been through to the daughter that is born in Ifa. The daughter that is born in Ifa, she's very different, very, very different. Um, and like at the time I didn't know I was pregnant when I went to the Enya. Oh, maybe I didn't know, maybe I wasn't. And I remember dancing for the Egunguns. Hi, hi, Amazon. Hi, Amma. calling you Amazon. I remember dancing for the gunguns that night. That very night, I can't remember. I went to that my first babalawo, my proper babalawo, and because and so how I met him is a whole another story. I remember dancing that day in front of the ancestors. And the Baba spoke to me the night and he said, "Yeah, I see you dancing." I personally always had a kind of a connection, being that I've come from a spiritual Baptist background. So sometimes when you see certain people who is part of who is a Santero or the priestess or whatever, and they speak and they come from certain trees and they just and their pathway would lead them somehow to the Ifa. The Ifa, however, though it is a religion, yes, it is a religion, but it's also, I call it a lifestyle because they literally, even though they're living day to day, they do normal things, they party, they do, they do normal things. Like, some of them really take it all the way. They live in the Ile, the temple. They go to Nigeria, they live in the temple, they worship day in, day out. Some of them, some Americans that I've seen, has either moved to Nigeria, building elays, formulating communities. So every minute there's a community being formed every single time, every single time. When there's a new Baba that is reborn, that is birthed, or whatever, there is an elay about to be birthed. Now, bear in mind, there is good and bad Babalawas. Yes, there is. There is some that would leave you hanging. I was left hanging. I was left hanging for a long time. I was even starting to doubt my own self. But what keeps me going, I feel, with it, and I'm not saying I have Oshun on my head neither. I'm not saying I have this one and that one on my head. Sometimes, right, you are linked to certain stuff or certain things. I was always one to question. I have a very big vast curiosity of everything and anything. I'm very curious. I am the star sign to what I'm under sometimes. My curiosity takes me to a lot of things. I mean, I haven't been very curious of recently since I got older, but my curiosity normally leads me to something. So I started researching the Ifa. Then I found that in Trinidad, there is a big thing in Trinidad now. Now, my gran used to call them Shango, but really they're Ifa people. But there was always a stigma aligned with them. With everything, there's a stigma because, especially in Nigeria, they call them traditionalists, and traditionalists have a bad name to it. So some traditionalists, they will go for human blood. Some traditionalists, where especially where there is these guys called the Yahoo boys, they would do rituals that is not in line with, I would say, the Ifa, because the Ifa don't kill people. Ifa literally what they have to sacrifice an animal. They do ceremonies for that animal before that animal gives his life to the ceremony. It's not just okay, we're doing this and we have to go get this. So there is a big stigma in Nigeria on it. But mind you, recently I've seen that there is many high women who is in Nigeria that is following the Ifa system, and they have the priestesses there in their events and everything. They are there. Now, the one I put up recently was this lady that I've seen on TikTok. She's called the King, Python Woman King. She is from another part of Nigeria. So, when they're talking, like they call certain deities by different names, but it was the same deity, but they call it by different names. They will feed the community, tell the community, give the community consultations, whatever they got to do. They are very worldwide. In their country, they're quite big in their country. So when they're in the Western country, they're not very big. But in the West, they are known because they are a bit bigger than what they are in the West. So when people see them or whatever, like my Ila Nifa, who's over here, she come from a big bloodline. Her bloodline is not little. So when you see her, she's bigger than, you could say, England, right? right? Because she's well known. So some people, when they see them and they know, like, they would attack them on all sorts of stuff, like, you know what I mean? Because some people is sometimes it's the Bible and other things that come into play, but well, it's not all mostly to do with it. So when you sit at the feet of these priestesses and you understand them, well, I mean, I'm hoping to go to the temple a little more now than I did last year, because I kind of blocked them a little bit, because I've always had problems with people. People normally give me problems. I don't give people problem. People give me problem, so I normally keep to myself in isolation, you can say. But then when I went to the Ocean Festival, which I put up, they were so welcoming, and I didn't get a chance to go to the after part of the Ocean Festival, which is really nice. It's very vibrant. It's a vibrant. You do actually feel her presence in wherever she is. Ocean literally comes down wherever there's people speaking the tongue, which I've always believed anyway. She will let herself be known. So when people use her, like me, like I, I, I did not outwardly go out to put her name on my channels. It actually happened like that. So somewhere some people abuse her name. I don't abuse her name. I don't abuse none of them. In fact, I don't even ask them for none. I don't. I don't do certain things. Some people will abuse their names, and I've got the space where I can actually voice my opinions on certain stuff. Now I'm going to be voicing my opinions because for ages there's been a lot of things happening, and I've always said that how people need to be careful. It's best to go to the people who knows what to do to cool down these things. Like, fair enough, the Rishas do understand English as well, but at the same time, right, you have to be careful. To me, that how when you're in a community of people and you're all following the same thing, there's an understanding. You can go as far as internationally, whatever, which is real good. I'm very glad to be part of a community like that. The difference is, I think, what people get mixed up with me is that I look like a Muslim, innit? I look like a Muslim. But bear in mind, in Nigeria, there is a Hausa community in Nigeria. There's a Hausa community in Nigeria, so I get mistaken for that sometimes, but it's not because I choose to. It happens like that. It just happens like that. But some people, like, you get mixed things with people because people try to figure out who you are, what you're into. They try to put you in a box when it's not like that. So, being that how now I've come into the new year, I see things a whole lot differently. Maybe because I've got older. Maybe I don't know what it is. So I'm coming to find myself where I can see the ones where like I'm not in a rush to go to say, okay, I want to initiate, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. Even when I spoke to one down in the festival, I said I don't mind being a devotee. To be honest, I don't mind being a devotee because it's not as heavyweight as being a priestess. You don't have to carry the whole world. You don't have to consult, because sometimes, right, you'll be out there and you'll end up consulting people anyway. So it doesn't matter. You'll be the one who will step up as a elder and you'll say certain things, which I have been doing. So it's like you go through some different phases. You go through different phases in life. Whereas before, I was searching. My search has stopped. My search has stopped. I just hope I don't get a Christian burial. That's all. That's all. That's anything I want. But that's why I am glad that I got to know the people I know, um, though I don't really contact them as much, to be honest. But when I see the ones that is doing what they're doing there in Nigeria, there's one lady, she graduated in Nigeria. She's an American. She is a Ocean priestess, I think Yamiya priestess or something, because I can't remember. She graduated just recently. They celebrated her. Um, there's Ocean Orisha baby. Now he gives two sides to it because he's from Grenada and he has different links as well, because West Indians have very wide bloodlines. Our bloodlines can go anywhere, right? Sometimes, right, even some of us don't even not aware of how far the bloodlines can go or how deep it goes or how whatever. When you look into certain stuff and you see and you say, oh, okay, so that's how you understand, you make the link. So I always say to people, before you even enter certain things, you have to research the Babylon, make sure that they're very well recommended. They have all their novices and all their peoples around them that they are willing to teach you whatever. It's not about the pocket all the time. They have, like, what I mean? Because sometimes they'll ask for a lot of money to do certain stuff. Some climates people can't afford it. Some people, I mean, very enough. In I was told from by my babalo, he said that how in Cuba the poorest person will save up money to do their ceremonies, and it doesn't matter the cost. They'll be the ones who will make sure that how they give service to that Orisha. They'll be the one that how if they have an initiation to the batter drum, they will make sure that they have it sorted, have it on lock. They don't play with that. So it's the same sentiments with us over here sometimes, because like we are money worries. We're about this, we're about that, we're about this. Some people save up to do their initiation. Some people do it in installments. It depends on your chief, your teacher, your babalo, and how they deal with you, because they will say, oh, it's this much. Now, if you can't afford it, right, they're gonna say, okay, let me go double check and see if I can ask the Orisha, can it be whatever, or if they're on alternative, because they can actually ask for alternative. I've seen it myself. They can actually ask for alternative, and the Orisha will tell them. But some babalawos and that sometimes they will ask for a amount of money, and priestesses all of that ask for the amount of money, and if you can't do it, you can't do your dafa, as I've been told, or you can't do certain things, miso, certain stuff. So you miss out on a lot. I feel I missed out on a lot. Why? Because I don't use my social media spaces as money makers. I don't believe in it. I don't feel that how the subscribers have to subsidize me for me to do my personal thing, even though it will be helpful in one sense, but in another sense, it's like it's like you're taking away from the community, right? Even though like you're gonna improve yourself, because it is self-development, it's personal development. With everything, there's personal development. You come into an understanding, you build on that understanding, you get greatness from that understanding. Some people are not able, some people get left behind, some people get put down on the side, whatever. And it's a shame, because there is loads of communities that will, or unless you're a certain way, I say unless you're a certain way, maybe you could reach that goal. So with me right now, if it is to be that I get initiated under the Ifa fully, so be it. Bear in mind, like when you got family, that's a whole different story, because like you can't be away for how much days to do whatever you got to do, and this and this and this. So that's why I make Ocean, Ocean, Ocean Rising like this, reposting. I probably make music. I don't know. I got how I feel. Um, there's many scholars out there. Some of them wrote books, got initiated underneath Ether, underneath the sign in which they are. Some of them has created products, have done a lot of things. I used to read so many books. I can even list a few books right now. I can even go get the books right now. I have read so much about it, that how you get understanding. But one chief It's always said to me, you have to go to the source. Going to the source meaning the Hara, you have to go to Nigeria, wherever, to get the full initiation done so you can get into a more deeper understanding. Some people's ego, some people's not, some people's just to say that they are this, some people's just to say that, some people is not, some people really, really, really is about that life. And that's why when I put up the priestess, I put up the one from, I think from Nigeria. Actually, the two of them is from Nigeria. The two of them is from Nigeria. I think I put out Brazil, Trinidad. I don't know. I don't know. I put up quite a few things. But these are all examples of how vast Ifa is and how wide, worldwide it is. It can go as far. It has no identity. It's not black. It's not white. It's everybody, right? The whitest woman, man, whoever will come and they'll be part of Ifa. There's a whole, I think he's South American. He speaks fluent Yoruba. Fluent Yoruba. There's quite a few that speaks fluent Yoruba. They are not Nigerian, but they speak it. They can speak the mother tongue like this. They can speak the odus, the blessings like this. It's like wow. When you watch it, you think, damn, like wow, you are amazed, right? And they don't put on shows. It's not like how you see like sort of some take on Haitian stuff and all this. Some of them really is about that life. They're really about it. They will create rooms. They will create spaces. They would basically. It's like they give their whole life to the Ifa, to Arumala, to Oshun, whoever, they give it up, they give it, but then some of them still have lifestyles with the musicians, they're teachers, they're this one, they're that one, and they still are a babalawo on the side or a priestess on the side. And that's exactly how it is. I don't know whether I explained everything, but I don't know. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I just thought I'd just come and speak a couple words on being a Ifa devotee. I would love to be part of the initiated bunch. I would. I would really love it. 'Cause I understand Ifa a lot. I literally get it. I literally get it. I don't say I know it all, but I get it. So I I understand that like you give it your time, it gives it your time. It rewards you according to how you are. And yes, you will get tested. And yes, you'll get all the necessary, and it's left for you. I'll another time I'll come up and I'll give there's another example, but I can't remember right now. When it comes to me, I'll just come up and I'll just talk. I'm hoping that there'll be others that pass through and they can give their 5 pence. I don't even care if they come into the comment section. I ain't fighting nobody. First of all, this one ain't fighting nobody. We're all here to learn, even from the biggest priest, the priest, whoever, to whoever. I ain't fighting nobody. I just like here to learn, and there is plenty to learn. Ifa is not just little bit, little bit, little bit. It's quite a big, big, big thing, right? Right, they have the base, the overview, and they have the underview, and then they have the broad. The broad is like it's wider than the ocean, the sea. That's how wide Ifa is. So when they show certain examples of Ifa, you're just like, damn, like that's a little one. And not only that, right? People take on the cultural identity of the thing, the places like Cuba, uh, Nigeria. You even get names, the names given, and that's how it goes, right? So it's a lot deeper. So, like, I'm not here to teach nobody. I'm just giving you an example of my experience of being around the ether system. I call it the system or the practice, however you want to put it, religion, however you want to call it. I'm just giving you an example of my experience, right? And I have put up examples of me going to an Oshun festival, and you do actually see me there. And I'll see you in the next live. Take care. Bye. Have a good day. Thank you, Amma, for coming through, and I'll see you in the next one. And I will rent you up. Thank you. Bye.